Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so once more, it is in fact the road to Inoue versus Nery. You guys know the Naoya Inoue fights coverage is a little different here on this channel. You know, we got a great history covering this fight here on True School Sports, and I really do want to get back to consistently covering Japanese boxing because, with me running around from Vegas to Arizona to California to upstate New York to here, I just haven't had time to sit down and really make these videos like I want to. But I wanted to cover this because this is a very personal story to me, and I think it's going to have an effect not just with the Nery fight, but for Inoue's career as it progresses forward. So let's talk about it. So interestingly enough, I'm going to say it was about a month and some change ago, I saw a picture of Inoue sparring a fighter that I'm very familiar with, which is none other than former Angelo Leo opponent, Aaron Alameda. You know, they had Aaron Alameda out there in Japan at Ohashi Boxing Gym sparring the monster because obviously Alameda is a fighter that is Mexican. He's a southpaw. So and he's also fought Nery. He's a guy that's fought Nery and has similarities in that style to Nery. Maybe he's not quite as unorthodox, but aggressive, come forward, durable Mexican southpaw, which is exactly what Nery has been for the most part in his career. Now, as it pertains to the Nery fight, because we'll talk how this pertains to the Nery fight, and then we'll talk how this pertains to Inoue big picture and how it could help him. Okay, as far as the Nery fight, like I said, Alameda is the perfect style. If he's sparring Alameda, it's going to give Inoue that chance to work on that liver shot to the body. And I'm obviously I wasn't there for sparring because they're in Japan. I'm here in South Florida. But I'll be led to believe that I guarantee you that's a shot they're practicing in sparring because that's a shot that's gotten Nery out of there. And that's a shot that Inoue has a big left hook. He's one of the best body punchers in the sport. So the Alameda sparring is perfect to get Inoue ready for a guy like Nery. Now, as far as how this pertains to moving forward, look, you guys know when it comes to me, the thing I'm looking forward to the most with Inoue's career is a move to featherweight at some point. I'm going to enjoy these fights against the Nerys. I'm going to enjoy these fights against Sam Goodman or Akmadaliev, whomever's next. But really and truthfully, I'm very anxious to see him as featherweight because I think that's where Inoue gets tested the most, fighting even bigger, more skilled guys, and there's a lot of good fighters up there, a lot of depth in the featherweight division for him to go, guys to go fight. Now, when you look at the featherweight division, it's just riddled with Mexican fighters, Mexicans and Mexican-American fighters. You got Rafael Espinoza and Venado Lopez, who are proudly holding the WBO and IBF belts respectively. So Inoue is going to have to get really familiar with dealing with that style and seeing that style because he's going to see it a lot when it comes to his impending move to the featherweight division. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Japanese fighters are great fighters. I love Japanese fighters. But generally speaking, Inoue is no different. He just happens to be a bit more athletic and explosive than most Japanese fighters. But generally speaking, Japanese fighters, their style very much reflects their country. Japanese culture is very regimented, disciplined, punctual, very by the book, formal. So because that's how their country is, their fighters exhibit the same sort of style. A lot of straight punches, a lot of jabs down the middle. Not as much uppercuts. Many Japanese fighters, unless the southpaws, don't like throwing the uppercut as much. But the Japanese fighters generally tend to have and love to throw the 1-2 down the middle. So sometimes, not saying Inoue is all the time, but sometimes, many times with Japanese fighters, even the really good ones like Inoue, Kenshiro, these fighters tend to become predictable at times in their punch selection. So I think when you're sparring a guys like Alameda and preparing for the Mexican style, a lot of Mexican fighters, they don't do things by the book. And because of that, I feel a lot of times Mexican fighters do have an advantage over Japanese fighters because Japanese fighters just don't see that style like that. You know what I'm saying? So, he's going to have to deal with guys like Venado Lopez. He's going to have to deal with guys like Espinoza. And then most notably here on this channel, I'll throw it out there because He's the most active fighter in the featherweight division, and he's a guy that I think by the time Inoue does move to featherweight, he's going to be champion, and I think it will be a fight that's going to happen, and it's a fight that I really, really want to see. And it's crazy that he's sparring Aaron Alameda because, and I'm talking about Angelo Leo. You know, Angelo fought Aaron Alameda in 2021 in his last fight as a 122-pounder. Probably shouldn't even have been there because I remember he made the weight for that fight at 122 pounds on the dot. I remember being in the room with him, seeing him have to get an IV because his face is so sunken in. He shouldn't even have been there. So he wasn't the strongest when he fought Alameda, but he won the fight. Close fight. Alameda, you know, came to win, and you know, Angelo won a majority decision. I thought it was more of a UD, but you know, a good fight. You know, a really good fight. I think Inoue knows that he's gonna have to be fighting guys like Angelo and Espinoza and Venado. So he's already Brandon Figueroa as well. Another tall guy. You know, so that Mexican style is something he's gonna have. If he wants to conquer featherweight, he's gonna have to get real comfortable with that particular style, and I look forward to seeing how he deals with it. But pivoting back to Angelo, that's the fight I really want the most at featherweight because I feel like Angelo is one of the best fighters, not just in the featherweight division, but in the entire world, and he's showing you guys what he's about these last 5 months. Three fights, 3 wins, 5 months. Nobody's doing it like that. And really and truthfully, a lot of people like to bring up the Stephen Fulton fight, which is fair. You know, he lost that fight. Stephen Fulton fought Inoue, got beat by him. I would like to bring up the fact that when he fought Stephen Fulton, he had COVID 3 weeks before the fight and shouldn't even have been fighting Stephen Fulton because he wasn't even feeling his best. Now, did Angelo make an excuse about that in the media? No, he didn't. But I remember he had COVID going into the fight. So I would like to see Angelo either get the shot at Fulton for the title or Venado, earn the shot, and then God willing, he fight Inoue at some point. I think that'd be a very tough fight for Inoue because, you know, I know Inoue struggled with Donaire in the first fight, and Donaire told you himself when I interviewed Angelo that pretty much, you know, Angelo stopped him, was the only guy in sparring to ever stop him to the body. Angelo's physically bigger than Donaire. He's younger than Donaire. He's extremely match fit right now. I think people underestimate him, not just in the Inoue fight, but in even the Venado fight, which is crazy to me. So I think that's the fight I want at 126 because I think it's not just one of the best fights in the entire division, but in the entire sport of boxing. And I hope people give Angelo an honest chance to continue to prove himself like he's been doing on Pro Box, three wins in 5 months. But yeah, last thing about Angelo, then I'll go back to Inoue. I know from talking to Team Leo that I'm not exactly sure when, but I know in the last couple of years that because Angelo has sparred a lot of Japanese fighters. He sparred guys like the Kameda brothers, Tenshin Nasukawa, Subaru Murata. He's very, very familiar with that style. There's probably no fighter at featherweight more familiar with that style than him. But I know that I can't remember if they told me if it was Mr. Honda or Ohashi Promotions, but I know one of those two was trying to get Angelo Leo to come spar in Japan. And I think the reason they were trying to do that was because they wanted to see what his overall fight game was like and get the intel on him. And Team Leo respectfully declined to go to spar in Japan because they know they're going to be fighting a lot of Japanese fighters in the future. So, look, I think that's going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing one day, Inoue versus Angelo Leo. And you guys will see. But, yeah, Inoue sparring Aaron Alameda is very good because, like I said, whether it's Angelo, whether it's Venado, whether it's this fight with Nery, whether it's Brandon Figueroa, he needs to really get more familiar and just get more comfortable dealing with Mexican pressure fighters because it takes a certain level of conditioning. It takes a certain level of fortitude. It takes a certain level of intelligence to deal with that style over the course of a 12-round championship fight. So I have no idea. I have no doubts in my mind that Inoue will be sharp for any and all those fights because Naoya Inoue is a consummate professional, and that's why he's achieved what he's achieved in boxing. Anybody who's hating or downplaying his accomplishments, they just don't understand what it takes to be great on that level, and they have something about what he's doing with his career bothers them, and they're just miserable. They're miserable people. But looking forward to seeing what he does against Nery. Looking even more forward to seeing what he does as a featherweight. But that's my take on him sparring Aaron Alameda and what I think it could do for his career, not just against Nery, but with his impending move to featherweight, because he's going to have to come see the guys like Espinoza, Venado, Brandon Figueroa, and of course, most notably, Angelo Leo. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterbury, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.